name is Isabella Greene. Welcome to my channel. Today, I would like to talk to you about DNA upgrades. A lot is happening on the planet right now. A lot is happening with the light workers and star beings, and I'd like to share with you some information about what I am experiencing, what others are experiencing, and what it is that I'm receiving through the channeled messages during my sessions that I do for people when we have direct interaction with the higher selves. And these are the aspects outside of the human reality. What do we know now about the DNA upgrades? We as human beings are literally the living library. The Pleiadians talk about that. Barbara Marciniak called the human beings the living library, and now it's becoming apparent what that really means. We carry the DNA from all over different galaxies, from many different species that contributed their DNA to creation of the human beings. Not only that, but we have been modified genetically throughout the history of development of the human race by various races that came in and messed a little bit with human genome here and with the DNA structures of the humans. There's the legend, let's say, or theory that the Pleiadians came at some point and manipulated the DNA of the human race to change. We know that various species contributed to the DNA of the human beings, and this is why we have all this what's called the dormant DNA that we carry within ourselves. But it's not going to be dormant for too long. Every single day in the sessions with clients, not only I facilitate the activations of the DNA or the activations of connection with the next aspect and the next aspect of their higher selves, and we consider our higher selves perhaps very often connected to cosmic races outside of the human experience. So not only I facilitate that and I became aware to how to do that, but it also is being facilitated automatically for the entire planet and for those who are ready. The changes are somewhat subtle, but we all of a sudden start experiencing a different state of being and a set of skills, a set of abilities that were not there before. And because these abilities and strangeness or these strange occurrences have been mentioned and discussed so much in my own experience, and I also have been experiencing that myself, here I want to share with you what happens once the strands of DNA come online. So when the specific strands of DNA are activated, we somewhat tap into the abilities of the cosmic races that contributed to our DNA. Let's say if you're activating a Pleiadian strand, you might be or might start pulling into the present moment the abilities that the Pleiadians carry. The avians or the Taurians or any kind of race, Andromedans, Sirians, any kind of race that you are carrying within your DNA structure, when that strand of DNA or perhaps multiple strands of DNA are activated, we come online with the abilities that these cosmic races carry. And across the board, there are specific abilities that all cosmic races carry outside of the human reality. So not only we activate specific aspects within ourselves and start pulling the memories and the records and the abilities of these beings, but we also become freer, because no cosmic race outside of human reality lives the way the human races live. And I hear that over and over in my channeled messages, and other teachers are saying the same thing, because we in human reality live in super restricted reality. We have restraints of time and space and gravity and human body, and it's just restraints all around. There are restrictions from all directions, and none of the races outside of the human reality, especially the higher dimensional races that contributed to our DNA structure, none of them are living that way. And so as their DNA gets activated within us or reactivated, because we're carrying it, it's dormant, it's sitting there, we know it, but as it gets reactivated, we all of a sudden start experiencing, I would say, holes in time, for example, because there is a theory, another theory that I heard on the programs with Sandra Walter. She mentions that the core of the DNA is a vortex, and it has a lot to do with structure of time. What I have observed is that once these certain strands of DNA are activated, we start kind of fluctuating outside of the linearity of time, which is absolutely fascinating. An example of that is that we are able to experience various aspects of our own selves simultaneously, and we literally can sit down with these aspects in a non-physical space that's outside of time. And a lot of people do this in meditation, and some people have visions straight out while they're, I don't know, taking a shower or whatever, once the mind is out of the way. But we're able to interact with other aspects of our own selves, be that other incarnations from human experiences or other aspects from outside of human experiences, the specific race that we are connected to, or multiple races that are in our DNA structure. So we are able to literally have the interactions with them and become able to perceive ourselves as a human and also the non-human or that other human, and interact with them in the non-linear manner. Also, the type of the DNA that gets activated in our cells gives us access to the records of that specific race, and each race in the cosmic structure, in the galaxies, in the universe, are carrying a vast body of knowledge that is not available to the human race at this time. And so we become the library that we can read ourselves. We literally can become able, once our DNA, specific levels of DNA are activated, we become able to read ourselves like a library. I heard that in the channeled message recently, one of the sessions where the higher self said, you are able now to read yourself as a library of history and knowledge from all over the universe. Because the super advanced civilizations outside of human reality who have contributed to the structure of the human DNA carry that access. They all know things that we have no idea about. But once our little DNA that's connected or that's carrying all of the records of that knowledge, of that race, once that gets activated within ourselves, we are able to tap into that knowledge as well. All we need to do is remove the filters. And this is why a lot of people get awakened in the middle of the night after the activations are facilitated, or if they went through the activations based on Stargate events or powerful solar events or just events that are evolving the planet. So once that happens, you might start waking up in the middle of the night, because that knowledge, that information is trying to come through into your awareness when the physical, analytical, 3D brain is out of the way. And the best time for that is 3 in the morning or 3:30 in the morning. And a lot of people, after they had activations or after we had another massive celestial event, start waking up at 3:30 in the morning every single night, and they get frustrated. But it's important to remember that that is your own self, your own structure, your own access is knocking, and this is why they're trying to get to you when your filters are down. So we gain ability to experience ourselves as other beings, and we call this bilocation, but the bilocation is really not the accurate term from where I stand, because we're already there. The reason we don't see and know that we're already there, that we're connected through DNA, through the physicality, which comes with consciousness. We know that every aspect, every cell, every part, every DNA, everything that the human body consists of has its own consciousness. And we are the field of consciousness of our own and other consciousness that we carry in our DNA. So once we come back online, we are all of a sudden able to observe ourselves elsewhere. Observe ourselves elsewhere. And people call that bilocation. Oh, I bilocated. No, you did not bilocate because you did not go anywhere. The filter came down and you're now able to observe yourself, live in this human reality, but also at the same time living as a different aspect of yourself in a different reality. We're multidimensional, we're infinite, we're connected, and some of us carry more DNA from specific races and less from other races, and so we will be more connected to that specific race that we happen to carry more of that DNA from, and a little less with other races. And so this is where the confusion about the cosmic origin comes in. What is my cosmic origin? Well, you are everywhere. Your cosmic origin is infinite, but there are specific strands of DNA, specific amount of strands that you're carrying within your own essence, within your own physical structure, within your own inner library that connects you more to some races and a little bit less to others. And so that would give you a predisposition towards thinking that that was your origin. Or perhaps this is where you decided to come into the human experience and here you are now. So this is really exciting. A lot of people are talking about bilocation at this time. Like an example that, I was just driving in my car and all of a sudden I experienced myself in a whole different world, and it was not of this world, it was not of terrestrial nature, and I was fully aware of what was going on around me as I was driving. I was fully aware I went to a store and was doing things, but simultaneously I was observing the life in a whole different reality. And this story is becoming more and more common, especially with the ones who have been doing the work and the ones who have been doing the work and prepared their bodies. We have to help our vehicle. We have to help the physical and emotional and energetic structure so that you can receive that DNA activation. If we're in density and even eating, steak, cake, and milkshake every day, we're not gonna go anywhere. So it's important to lighten up the physical structure of the body so it can pull in the information and pull in that DNA activation. And also to lighten up the mind, because the mind and the consciousness are influencing our structure. What we think about, we become. It influences everything, our energetics, our physical composition, our emotional composition, everything. We are a complex mechanism that is now preparing to receive these activations of the DNA strands that will give us access to incredible, unbelievable experiences, an incredible body of knowledge. And we are here and we have to assist from this human perspective. So I hope this is just as exciting for you as it is for me. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I share a lot of fun and useful information on this channel. And if you'd like to have a session with me, you can reach me at isabellagreene.com. I'll see you next time. Take care now. Namaste.